Well, being smacked as a child meant that violence wasn't alien to me. So when I met and married my husband and he became violent to me, I was more accepting of it than I would have been if I hadn't been smacked as a child. I went for years living very unhappily with someone who was violent towards me. And I just put up with it. I put up with it because I had low self-esteem. I put up with it because by then I had children. I was worried about the children. And basically this went on for years and it got worse and worse. And eventually I thought, well, I've had enough. I can't take any more. And it was a question of survival. If I'd stayed, I would have either been killed or seriously injured, or I might have killed myself because I was at the end of my tether. I felt suicidal quite often. It's a huge step to leave a violent relationship because, first of all, you've got to feel strong, and that's not easy. When you have low self-esteem and you're being manipulated, it's quite hard to find the emotional strength to do it. Children who witness their mother being abused are actually abused as well. They're not happy, they're unsettled and uncertain, they're fearful. I've seen all this in my children. When I left him, the youngest child was quite small, but the older child was 13. The long-term impact on my children has been that the eldest child was so damaged by it that he has walked away from his family, both sides. He's really lived away from everything and everyone because that was the only way he could cope with it. It was so traumatic. My youngest child suffered also in quite a few ways. He was very unsettled, both at school and at home. He had huge problems with sleep because he would constantly be churning all these things in his mind and worrying about safety and security, full of fear. And he never had a happy, carefree childhood. As a lawyer, I very quickly became disillusioned because what I saw was just the constant conveyor belt of crime where people were in and out of the system, but nobody was looking at changing what was happening to people. Why were people being locked up, let out to reoffend, locked up and so on? And so I became very disillusioned with the criminal justice system. When I came across Wave Trust 10 years ago, I thought it was wonderful because it allowed me to understand why people abuse others, why people are violent. Wave has brought to the UK programmes which have already benefited thousands of families. But that's just the start. There's a lot to do. We need the public to join with us and support us because this is the right thing to do. I feel compelled to use what I've learned to help others because that's how we as a society will grow and develop, by sharing the good things and helping each other to understand what is better and can be changed.